Talk to it.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether the winters were left in the cold. Classic.
I'm only gonna do this once.
Classic.
Fighting out of the southpaw stance. Standing at 6'2", 190 pounds. I give you, boy, I'm made different. I work too hard. Ain't no way I ain't getting paid different. This from the dirt, this from the mud. You ain't slave with me. This was strictly for my homies that was brave with me. You can't come in with me now if you ain't came with me. Skull looking at you side-eye if you ain't with real life.
Early.
Couple people trying, it ain't even
Let's
pro.
go.
I only keep the people around that stood on 10 with me. And if they start to stand on 9, that's where it end with me. It can end quickly. In the way I level up, I make them spin differently. I should start a foundation. They be make-a-wishing me. I got these hoes in the fringe. They can't seem to get to me. They gotta
What up,
master
chat?
discipline. It take more than booty cheeks. Need a little more conversation, cause I still be trying to see. I be listening with my eyes. Yeah, I still be trying to see. I be moving like the prize. You can't find another me. Let's get focused. Want the fruits of your labor, gotta climb the tree.
Yeah, it's Classic with the classic codes, and I got another great live show for y'all. Shout out to Jay Zilla in the chat early. Shout out to Soft Rain in the chat early. We streaming on 4 platforms right now. Right now, we live on the Classic Codes on YouTube and Twitch and Rumble, and we are also live on Classic Codes Sports on YouTube. So make sure that y'all are tapped in with me somewhere, everywhere, to be all the way real with you. Today we're gonna be starting off with our sports takes, and then we'll move into our regular scheduled programming. We won't be on sports for too long, but just a couple of things to tap into just to keep everything alive over on the sports side. So let's move into athletes and their injury recovery. Okay, we're going to be talking about athletes and their injury recovery. We're also going to be talking about the NFL. We're going to be talking about who the bounce back player of the year. We're going to be predicting who the bounce back player of the year in the NFL will be this year. So let's start off with athletes and their injury recovery, and we'll be right back. It's the Classic Code Sports. Let's get it.
There you go. Talk to it.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether the winters were left in the cold. Yo, it's Classic with the Classic Code Sports. And right now we are going to head over to the Last Flight Out podcast, and we're going to be discussing injury recovery for athletes. Shout out to the dog Mike running the Last Flight Out podcast. I was actually able to meet him in person and get to know him a bit while we were out in Greece. And he told me about his platform. I told him about mine, and I rock with what they doing over there at the Last Flight Out podcast. So there was an interesting segment that's super relatable to me right now. And I actually just released the first episode of my gym vlog that's on the Classic Code Sports, my YouTube channel, Classic Code Sports. I actually just released episode 1 of my gym vlog, and I actually covered a lot of the injury recovery process that I'm dealing with myself, coming back to my regular form from a patellar tendon tear. So I think this video should be intriguing for all of us, to say the least, but particularly for me, it's relatable at the moment. So let's tap in with the Last Flight Out podcast and see exactly what they have to say with regards to the hardest injury to recover from in sports. Let's go.
The hardest injury to come back from.
What's the hardest injury you would say to come back from, recover from?
The hardest injury to come back from, I would say it's probably any type of tendon injury.
So like an Achilles.
A patellar tendon. They're not death sentences anymore, but just the nature of the injury, I think, is pretty challenging.
KD came back. Look at him, a year and a half. I mean, Clay's not the same player, obviously, but KD almost came back with no dip in his performance.
Yeah, but like you have to kind of view performance from a different lens, right? Like, so physical output versus like tactical, technical performance, right? Like KD 6'11", 7 feet, skill, can score. But then, like, again, strip under the hood. Again, not saying I know anything about his specific profile, but like you got to make sure, okay, for the calf itself, like, is that calf back to performing?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they can go out. I've met some people who can't even do a calf raise, but are hooping at the high level because they had a past Achilles tear.
Yeah.
Or injury. Especially in the G, I came across it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Can't do a calf raise.
Can't do a calf raise, but they're hooping.
Damn. How do you even lift?
The body's amazing. So maybe they compensate through a different muscle group. They generate force from their quads or their glutes instead of like the calf, you know?
But that'll come out at another time.
It's not optimal. It's not optimal, but like maybe like you'll see it certain like movements, or like maybe that one side will be prone to like knee issues because the calf is not helping to share some of the stress. But
so let me add into what he's saying so far. He's speaking from a very educated position, I believe. I'm not positive who this gentleman is or what his expertise is, but he clearly knows what he's talking about. Maybe I should know who he is, but I do not at the moment. But I can chime in on this. When he says the hardest injury for athletes to come back from is some sort of a tendon tear. Well, that's my first major injury that I sustained on March 21st of this year. I tore my patellar tendon in my left knee, and I had no idea. I hadn't had any real serious injuries up to that point, and then for this to be the first one, it was a big learning experience for me. And to just add some validity to what he's saying, my physical therapist actually told me that recovering from my injury, which is a patellar tendon tear, is actually significantly more difficult, more cumbersome. It's a longer process than coming back from an ACL, MCL, or PCL. They said I would have been better off tearing one of those versus tearing the tendon. So he's not off base at all in regards to recovery. I'm still in the process of recovering now. I tore my knee on March 21st. I got surgery on March 26th. It is now August 18th, and I'm still probably at like 75%. So that lets you know how long of a road. And I've been going to physical therapy 2 to 3 times per week since the week after surgery. So I've been in physical therapy for damn near 5 months straight, 2 to 3 times a week, and doing my own stuff, doing my homework and stuff like that. So he not capping when he says like coming back from tendon tears, it's a whole different beast. I'm not surprised that he's saying there's people who can't do a calf raise, but they still hooping, because the way it feels, even now being back in the gym, doing some boxing movement, working on some footwork, pivoting, pushing off, planting, shifting weight, the way it feels, if you're not mentally together, your ability to trust and rebuild the mind muscle or mind tendon, mind body connection with regards to that particular body part, whether it be an Achilles, a patellar tendon, whatever the case may be, it can significantly impact whether or not you're going to make a full recovery, and whether or not you'll actually ever be the same athlete again. I know on day one, when I went into physical therapy, I let them know, hey, I'm trying to get back to being an athlete. I'm not just trying to get back to daily life. Because most people in physical therapy, they're just trying to get back to daily life. They want to be able to walk, sit down, get up, nothing too crazy, hit a flight of stairs if they need to, etc. That never was my mission. So if you're trying to get back to athletics after a tendon tear, I have a different respect for Kobe Bryant. I have a different respect for what Jason Tatum's going through it now. Damian Lillard's going through it now. And I think one more person tore an Achilles this playoffs. So those tendon tears is definitely a different monster. I just had to add that in from my own personal POV right now. But let's see what else they say.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see that.
And just from your professional opinion, man, you're seeing all these ACL tears, man, right now in the NBA. Like, what do you, these are top performing athletes, right? Like, what is an ACL like random? Like, is it like, because you see some guys like even the NFL, I know you don't do NFL, but I'm just saying like NFL, NBA.
Yeah.
It's like you see all these top performing guys that are like going down. What do you do as a strength coach to try to prevent those sort of like,
it's this, I don't believe in like preventing the injury. Prevention is like not a real thing. It's like injury mitigation. Like, what can we do to decrease the risk? Like, there's evidence that shows, like, all right, the stronger you are, the less likely you are to get hurt, right? Like, having good strength in certain muscle groups and a certain balance between certain muscle groups have shown to kind of help protect the joint. Like, things like load management, like, not doing too much too soon, allowing for adaptation, so rest and recovery. And sometimes it's bad luck, bro.
Yeah.
So like you can do all the right things and sometimes you still get hurt. So it's tough, it's tough. It's not a straightforward answer. It's multifactorial. Things change. You have a past history of a hamstring, and that affects the way you run, jump, you land, and it's going to force you to move in a different way. Maybe that moving in a different way will stress your knee in a way that you can't necessarily tolerate. I don't know, right? So
yo, shout out to Stephanie tapping in from Twitch. Welcome to Chat 333. We sure appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe to me on Twitch. I definitely appreciate you, Stephanie.
Classic.
All day long, twice on Tuesday. How's your day going so far? My day is going well. Shout out to the chat. Mr. McBride in the building, 333. Souls of Thought in the building, 333. What up,
Classic.
chat? Let's go.
It's not straightforward.
So I guess what is a Alvin DK program, whether you're a college athlete or high school athlete, and they come to you, or even a pro athlete, they come to you, what is the first thing that you're looking for? Or why should someone kind of incorporate? Do you think like high school athletes or college athletes should incorporate
absolutely
performance coach?
I had a high level high school athlete coming to see me today, and I'm talking like this kid is explosive. Like, if I show you a clip, you're like, whoa! Like, he on a break, he's trying to put people in the gym. He's jumping out the gym. He's paced. Like, he'll make a move, he'll bump, he'll spin, he'll square, he'll elevate and shoot. You don't see that kind of pace with a 15-year-old. So his genetic output is there. So in that case, like, I'm looking to see what his health is like, right? Like, what his joints are like, right? Does he have adequate range of motion in his hips and his knees and his ankles? Does he have good tissue extensibility in key muscle groups that help protect, or I would say, like, we call it like amplification and like a force? Like, can it like?
Here's the thing. They're talking about the science behind injury. Stephanie, shout out, said, glad to hear that. Just dropped you a follow. Gratitude, much appreciated. Tap in with us. We here live streaming every single day. Shout out to everybody tapping in from Twitch. Shout out to everybody tapping in from Rumble, and of course my YouTube audience as usual.
Classic.
Adding to what he's saying though, in regards to like the injuries and the injury prevention that people do, and the things that they put in place to try to shore their bodies up. You have to understand, if you play sports or do any activity at a super high level for a long enough period of time, you're gonna experience what I call a blown tire. Whether it's your ankle giving out, your Achilles, whether your knee, you tweak a hip, you tweak something, elbow, wrist, you're gonna have nicks and bumps and bruises. And if you play long enough at a high enough level, you'll sustain a serious injury. Again, referencing myself, this is my first serious injury, and I've been alive for a while. You know what I mean? But I've ramped up my activity. I do things at a high level. When it comes to certain physical activities, I do them at the level of professionals. When it comes to other activities, I do them at levels higher than the average civilian. And when you operate like that, you're resting your recovery. Especially as you continue to age, your rest and recovery and recuperation regimen is literally just as important as your workout routine. So when he's talking about noticing imbalances or other muscles compensating for other muscles and, different things like that, you want to try to address those things as quickly as possible so that the inefficiencies don't create the big pop or the big tear that you're trying to avoid. So as the thought said, we have normalized overtraining, which is not safe. I agree. But, to play at the level that some of these sports are being played at nowadays, you can't take too many days off. These people trying to figure out how to enhance active recovery days. You know what I'm saying? It's a catch-22. It's like you want to be great, you want to grind every day, but then your body needs its time to rest. And for some people, it's hard to tell them to sit still, myself being one. Let's go.
Like dampen force and amplify force. So like, do you have good mobility in certain muscle groups? And you're starting there. Most of these young kids can't squat properly. most of these young kids don't know how to like take care of their health. So you're instilling good habits in them. So like, yeah, the first and foremost is just like health before you get into all the sexy stuff. Cause at 15, one may are like, why are you doing that? Right.
Yeah.
Focus on like the weak link, and then everything else gets elevated. Right.
And I'm sure a lot of the foundation is their diet, right? Like what 15-year-olds, I mean, if you're a high performing athlete at that point, you would
Sure,
NBA or
for
college
sure.
prospect, you're probably eating healthy
Yeah, well,
anyway.
Sure. Well, you
eat
hope,
whatever.
you hope.
Well, that's the thing too. That's a great thing. I'm glad they added in your diet. Your diet can help you with injury prevention in a lot of different ways. You got some people that are youth athletes and they work out, train, but they still eat the traditional American fried food. They still eat junk food. They still snacking and doing like traditional Western, westernized people do as far as their eating regimen is concerned. Snacks, processed foods, things like that. All of these foods are inflammatory. They're inflammatory. They cause inflammation. The more inflammation, more prone and susceptible you become to injuries. They also build up fatty tissue. More fatty tissue, more prone and susceptible you become to injuries. Things like that. So it is important to have a good, hearty, healthy, wholesome diet. But even with your diet on point, even with your rest and recovery on point, you could still just blow a tire. When I got hurt, I wasn't doing nothing sophisticated. I was wide open on a breakaway, going in for a layup. I wasn't even trying to explode off the ground or try to dunk or nothing. I just went to go in for a layup. Never got off the ground. As soon as I planted my foot, boom, blew a tire. You don't. It's sometimes, like he said, sometimes it's just bad luck. But I'll tell you, it's God intervention. Because soon as I hurt myself, I said, "Oh, okay, I'm being sat down for something. I'm being sat down for a reason. Let me make the most of this time." That's what my mind went immediately. So sometimes when you do everything right, and you still being made to sit down, that's just life happening. But let's go.
You would hope. Chicken nuggets in there. Go play.
But I was saying the least was we were athletic. We was eating anything. So I'm sure if you could jump out the gym, got offered.
If you're in the NBA, like you have a full
you have a chef.
You
gotta have.
You got some people.
There's a chef. There's a dietitian on staff. Like they have their own personal chefs.
Everyone gets one
if you pay for it.
Or it's an extra add-on even as a player.
Yeah, we have a team chef, a team dietitian, but then the players will usually have their own personal chef that cooks meals for them.
Yeah,
and they coordinate with our dietitian to make sure that they're getting the macros that they need and like they're hitting their performance goals. Yeah. So it's like a team. It's like a collaboration.
That's what's up. So that was just a little bit of information tapping into a different element of the sports world. That was Dr. Alvin, let me say his name right. Dr. Alvin Dyke. Dr. Alvin Dyke is the person who was speaking on, and again, that's the Last Flight Out podcast. Make sure y'all tap in with them for dope content in regards to all different types of sophisticated conversations. Not everything with them is about sports. So you definitely want to tap in with the Last Flight Out podcast. And I appreciate Dr. Alvin going into these things in greater detail, because since I got injured, I've been talking about it and trying to explain things in a way that's, comprehensible to people who haven't gone through this. But the truth is, no words will really explain it. The pain from post-surgery, the inconvenience, the harshness of trying to get your movement back, all of that stuff. I mean, I could gas it up for you, but unless you had to go through it, I don't think you ever empathize. You can have some sympathy, but you won't empathize with it. But yeah, that's the Last Flight Out podcast, speaking on injury recovery in athletics. Yes, classic. Lord. All right, moving into the next section. I need my chat active on this now. Moving into the next section of sports. We are talking about the NFL's bounce back player of the year prediction. Don't get scared now, chat. Don't get scared now. I'm sure it's a lot of fake NFL gurus, fake sports gurus, or maybe y'all the real thing. Maybe y'all are real gurus, chat. Who is going to be the bounce back player of the year in the NFL? Obviously, this is a hypothesis. You won't be wrong until the season has concluded, or until we about halfway through, or whatever the case may be. There's no way for you to be wrong, but let's have some fun with this one. Who's going to be the bounce back player of the year in the NFL? We got one coming in hot. Souls of Thought says CJ Stroud. Okay. CJ Stroud. Classic. I like you going the CJ Stroud route. CJ here's the issue with that, right? We're making him the bounce back player. Hear me out. CJ only 2 years in. He had a rookie season that wasn't typical for a rookie season. Last year, I can't really say CJ had a down year for him to bounce back from because his receiving core was riddled with injuries. So crazy. It was amazing to see him and Joe Mixon be able to get so much done. Having guys go down, Stephon Diggs went down season-ending injury. Nico Collins missed a big chunk of weeks. My dog, what's the fast receiver name? I can't. Why am I not thinking of bro name? The fast ass receiver. I'm looking at his face too. I can't think of his name. He went down. You know what I mean? All the injuries that they succumbed to. CJ was out there working with less than a full deck for sure. So I don't know if we can say he himself, Tank Dale. Thank you, sir. Tank Dale. He went down. So it's like with everybody being hurt the way it was, I can't say CJ had a down year to be bouncing back. It's almost like the team gonna be bouncing back, and we gonna see CJ be CJ. But I like the pick though in general. Because if we remove some of the context, he does have plenty of room for improvement, right? Souls of Thought also said, or Nick Chubb. That's a tough pick now. That's a tough pick just because Nick Chubb, he built from that same stuff that Adrian Peterson is built from. He built from the same stuff. Brute strength, workout warrior, mentally strong, fortified. Seemed like he got his legs back up under him after the gruesome, horrific, terrible injury that he sustained. He has his legs back up under him. It's going to be the mental game for Nick. And Nick Chubb ain't no spring chicken. Nick Chubb is, let's see how old Nick is. Nick Chubb 29. So in running back years, he in his early 40s. In running back years, Nick Chubb in his early 40s. So he could. 29 ain't a bad year. He not 30 yet. I mean, Nick built different for sure. I think he'll be better off. Is Nick still with the Browns? Yeah, he's still out there in Cleveland, right? They ain't get rid of him. So wait. No. Nicholas Chubb, American professional running back for the Houston Texans. So they got Nick out there with the Texans. See y'all, chat, until fantasy football kickoff. I don't dive all the way into the rosters. I don't be keeping up with all the trades. See Souls on the Texans. I'm just now tapping back in. I don't keep up with the offseason. Y'all will be shocked. For me to have a sports channel, I do not be tapped in with the offseason. It don't matter till they're getting ready to play. I don't care what you did in practice. I don't care how one-handed your catches was. I don't care what the throws look like. I don't care about none of that until it's time to play. Who moved who traded who. I tap into all of that about a week and a half before my fantasy draft, and then I'll be fully up to speed. So y'all will hear me speak about this with fluidity in about 2 weeks. But as of right now, some of the players and where they moved to and where they've gone, still a little bit foggy for me. But Nick got a shot. The only issue is for him to have a bounce back season, right? Because you said CJ Stroud or Chubb. And see, we know Souls of Thought. He out there in Texas. He's out there in Texas. I know you're a Cowboys fan, but he's in Texas. So there's a little bias going on off rip. We already know what that is.
Classic.
But I'll say this. Chubb may not get the volume that he needs to have the bounce back year. Anybody else in the chat got a bounce back player of the year in the NFL? Anybody else? I'm going to tell y'all mine, and I'm not budging off mine. I'm going to tell y'all mine right now. My bounce back player of the year in the National Football League is Tyreek Hill. Yeah, the cheetah. I think Tyreek Hill is about to bounce back in a major way. He had statistically one of the worst seasons in his career since he's, risen to prominence. And I think without that hand, what do you have, a hand injury or a finger or a wrist injury or something like that? I think without that injury, because he should have got shut down last year. Like they should have shut him down and just let him heal up. But without that injury lingering, and Tyreek been working on a lot of different things, track and field and all of that. So we know he's in premium shape for the season. I think Tyreek Hill is fitting to come back in a major way. I think we're going to see the return of the Mac. And I ain't going to lie to you. I think Tyreek, he ain't going to... Shit, can anybody say 2,000 yards? Reek out the. He's still out there in South Florida, right? Shit, Reek might get 2,000.
Classic.
Souls of Thought said Kelsey too. Nah, Kelsey done. He cooked barbecue chicken. That shit over with. Yeah, it's a wrap for Kelsey. Yeah. Nah, what we seen from Kelsey, that's what it's about to be. He not coming back to what he used to be and all that. He done got that Taylor Swift stimulus package money. You see what I'm saying? He done got him a couple Super Bowls. He feel good about himself. He getting these last couple years of collecting these checks out the way, and he off it to the sunset. Travis Kelsey not returning back to form. That one I don't see. It's over with for Kelsey. Him being washed will just make him an average tight end, right? I'm not saying he's gonna be trash, but the Kelsey we know, the tight end that essentially is a receiver at the end of the day, when you look at volume, catches, yak yards, touchdowns, essentially he operating like a receiver. Them days for Kelsey is a wrap.
Classic.
That shit over with, chat. Souls of Thought said, as long as he stays single. No, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Classic.
It's hard to stay hungry when you sleeping in silk pajamas. I'm just letting it be known. Souls of Thought said, you have to see his recomp boy in shape, and Pat didn't play well. I don't care what type of shape he got in. I ain't gonna lie to you, Souls. I don't care what type of shape you got in. Travis Kelsey, he hit that switch that you can only hit one time. When you hit that deceleration switch, when you hit that switch and then you try to ramp it back up, nah, man. Football, one of them sports where when you turn it down a little bit, one of them young boys, they already in contention for your spot. You don't really have a long time to be bullshitting in football. One of these young, hungry lions is gonna be in contention for your spot. Because Kelsey backup ain't played bad last year.
Classic.
Hello. The number 2 tight end in Kansas City did not play bad last year. Holla if you hear me now,
Classic.
chat. If we can get 85% of the production out of him that we getting from Travis, and we got to pay him 75% less, bring him on in. Let's unload this capital. Travis Kelsey, it's a wrap. He regular now. He regular. No, single was Tyreek. Oh, you saying Tyreek got to stay single? Well, listen, I don't think Tyreek ever had a girlfriend. He just had a lot of baby mamas simultaneously.
Classic.
Tyreek had like 4 chicks pregnant at the same time. 4 got quintuplets. On God, indirectly.
Classic.
That boy, hey, spread your seed and multiply, thus saith the Lord. But I got Tyreek as the bounce back player of the year, chat. I think Tyreek coming back with a vengeance. You said he was married. That ain't had nothing to do with all them skeezers he was running around with. Tyreek was single, man. He was married on paper. Folks was single.
Classic.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Tyreek Hill was married on paper. He said last year, before the divorce. Oh, before DV. Yeah. No, I'm knowing. But I'm just talking about the way he was moving. Because they could put the paperwork in place, but shit. Tyreek was out here moving totally different. Totally different. He was moving like he can't run out of money. You know what I'm saying? But I'll tell you what. He got all them kids he made, that divorce, the DV charges, whatever, all that stuff going on is expensive. So I got Tyreek Hill coming back playing like he hungry again because he is. Everybody got their hands in the pot. So he need a bigger pot.
Classic.
Tyreek finna come back. Tyreek Hill, this is my prediction, my bold prediction for the NFL season. Tyreek Hill finna come back playing like he need one more big-ass contract. He gonna play this season like he need one more big one. Matter of fact, let's look up Tyreek Hill contract situation. Let's go ahead and see what's to it. Tyreek Hill contract in. Okay, Tyreek Hill's current contract with the Miami Dolphins is set to expire at the end of 2026 NFL season. He initially signed for a 4 years, $120 million contract in 2022, which was later restructured. The restructured deal, worth up to $90 million over 3 years, was agreed upon before 2024 season. Yeah, Tyreek finna come back playing like he need one more bag. I'm rolling with Tyreek Hill as the bounce back player of the season in the NFL.
Classic.
That's what I got. Anybody else got a bold prediction on this? The bounce back player of the year. Souls of Thought, thank you for chiming in with yours. He said Nick Chubb, CJ Stroud, or Travis Kelce. Those were his predictions. I'm rolling with Tyreek Hill. I got one prediction. Reek. Yeah. And I'm glad this year in fantasy football, I should be able to get him in the second round. You used to have to pick him first round or you wasn't going to get him at all. I mess around, could get Tyreek in the second round. Maybe even the third, depending on which draft it is. You know, some people got more sense than others, but I don't see him as a risk. I see him as low risk, high reward. Tyreek Hill is still Tyreek Hill. Anytime you're a receiver with a finger injury, that shit matters. Having a finger injury at other positions in the NFL, not so much. Tape it up, splint it up, do whatever you got to do. But being a receiver, having to catch that thing, his hands already wasn't the most pure. Then you give him a hand injury on top of that. Of course, he dropping the ball. Of course, he not getting separate. You know, he thrown off. Everything was thrown off. I think Tyreek had a lot going on mentally. But I've been following him. I've been following him, not the Miami Dolphins, but I've been following him a lot this summer. And Tyreek seemed to have his head screwed on straight. He seemed to have his mind right. And I think as long as Tua Tagovailoa learn how to step out of bounds or slide and can stay on the field, Tyreek and Jalen Waddle stand to have big years, but Tyreek being the biggest of them all. No Puffy, no P. Diddy. You know what I'm saying?
Classic.
But yeah, that's my sports take. And that's my prediction on the bounce back player of the year in the NFL, Tyreek Hill. That's my final take on that. All right, chat. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all see the purple light special going on. Classic got a hot date. Yeah. I got a hot date. Time to go slide on Bay. River TV. This video is called She Proves Modern Women Know Nothing About Men. Now, I'll say this. I have not watched this video. I have not watched this video in its entirety. And so I'm not 100% positive exactly what River's takes on this are going to be. But I stand to feel like I know what direction she going to go in. But let's check it out, chat. Let's see what's going on here.
Cheat on their women all the time, aka serial cheaters, are 1,000 billion% gay.
River TV. What's up, guys? It's your girl Riva, and I'm back again with another video. So I was actually sent this video from TikTok to my Instagram. I have not watched the entirety of the situation. I had only seen the follow-up video, I guess, but I did not see the initial. So I'm going to go ahead and press play, pause, play, then give you guys my thoughts, my feelings, my opinions on this entire situation.
Men that cheat on their women all the time, aka serial cheaters, are 1,000 billion% gay. And being gay is more than okay. But what's not okay is dragging women along through your journey of trying to figure out your sexuality.
I will not be gaslit. 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 See, women like this, these be the ones that are making
natural born crash dummy.
Because off the rip, we come in the dough, just not making any sense at all, right? Everybody that's tapped in from Classic Code Sports, we about to move this live strictly on the Classic Codes on YouTube, Twitch, or Rumble. Classic Code Sports, that live is ending in 3, 2,